It is week 3 of the Canadian federal election. Welcome to whatever the this is. Former Prime Minister Stephen Harper endorsed a guy he couldn't be bothered to give a promotion to in 7 years while in office. Things got personal this week when Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre came out swinging with his barbs, calling Mark Carney a blue sock wearer with a banker's haircut. Carney accepted that sick burn, saying there's an actual name for that now.
Yes, Big Daddy!
Also this week, NDP leader Jagmeet Singh asked volunteers to raise the roof at a campaign event. This is where it's good news for Jagmeet Singh, because neither I or any political opponent could say anything about him right now that a new Democrat isn't already rage blue skying, which I believe is the equivalent of rage tweeting, from Kitsilano right now. But no one was having more fun this week than the People's Party of Canada. In a spirit of self-awareness, that was the fringe right-wing party with the track Super Freak playing to a room full of dudes. And finally, transitioning from self-awareness to a lack thereof, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre, he put out a new campaign ad. Yep, that's right, a guy, his wife, and an American car. Canada first. It's like Pierre said, how much money do we have? Can we get an iconic American car that definitely doesn't speak against the pro-Canada movement we're living in right now or reek of a midlife dad crisis? We can. Fuck it, let's do it. I want to live out the Millhouse dream sequence. We've got more to cover in this episode, but first, thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Which brings us to the story for this week, Pierre Poilievre. Him not being able to get off on getting off on his rallies. Like a mega Hatchimal, Pierre's inner Trump couldn't stop from emerging, berating this reporter to tell him about how he did last night.
How many people do you think we had last night? When was the last time we had a rally that big in Canada? You're a very well-informed person. I know that if there were a bigger rally than that, you would know about it.
Look at Pierre, grinning like a 5th grader who just found the answer to Miss Johnson's geometry test. Pierre, with which only can be described as awkward energy, is also attempting a political strategy here. You see, he's trying to convince people that the polls are wrong and that these rallies, how big they are, they're right. And now, conveniently for Pierre, some new activists are popping up outside his rallies wanting you to start questioning them too, which of course has led to very specific counter-protests. It's like a Russian nesting doll of poll denialism with the right amount of dust from Narendra Modi. But Pierre wants you to ask yourself a very simple question, and ask it with me. How can the Conservatives be losing if 10,000 similar-looking people show up to a rally in, let's say, the most conservative province in Canada to what feels more like free admission to a rock concert of the best of recently outdated political slogans than a real political movement grounded in ideas that are responsive or kind of meet the moment? How is that possible, folks? How is that possible? Compounding this, though, Pierre is also fighting off reporters every day at every turn. He isn't allowing them on the campaign plane, probably because there aren't enough electricians to capture lightning from the sky to harness the power needed for the Wi-Fi.
The electrician who captures lightning from the sky.
And what that actually means is that reporters are chasing Pierre Poilievre and his campaign across the country just to ask him a simple question.
Sorry, there's just a protester here. Go ahead.
It's a reporter trying to ask you a legitimate question.
The Poilievre campaign is slowly shifting from the media is the enemy to everyone is the enemy. The media, pollsters who had him up for every month except 2 of the last 18, blue socks for some f***ing reason. And none of that is accidental, because while the campaign is far from over, they're already trying to save their asses if they lose, or worse. And listen, Pierre, about your rallies, let's put this to bed once and for all in terms you'll get. Firstly, it's not the size that counts. It's whether your enthusiasm can, let's say, deeply penetrate every part of the country. That's called efficiency. Secondly, and this is an evergreen lesson for you, fishing for compliments about how you did the night before kinda reeks of desperation, insecurity, kind of that midlife dad vibe you had. Thirdly, in simple terms, every single time, even if it's not big, even if it's pretty normal seeming, unsurprising on the surface, if people, they're genuinely into what you're doing, they'll tell you in the moment.
Yes, Big Daddy!
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe on YouTube and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Also, please share it with your network. For exclusive content and to support our progressive advocacy, visit forwardcanada.ca. Join a growing movement of those fighting for progress on healthcare, education, workers' rights, public services and institutions, the environment, and much, much more.